Today on the Trend Out Loud podcast. Mainstream media is not talking about this, but this may be a bigger sex scandal than Diddy. How do you sleep with the president's wife? Donald Trump is the president-elect. January the 20th, he's going to be the president. Trying to protest a presidency is senseless. This guy slept with his uncle's wife while she was pregnant and recorded it. Now, this must be Diddy's uncle or something. They got to be related. What up? It's Trend Out Loud, and I'm back with another episode. All right, it's Friday morning. Y'all know how I get down already. My favorite day of the week is finally here. We can kick off the weekend. Yo, I'm in a good mood today, man. All right, I got a great show set up for you guys to head off to your weekend. I got 5 lead stories. We're going to talk about a sex scandal in South Africa, Donald Trump, the DOJ, Bernie Sanders, and Elon Musk. We also have quick news. We're going to talk Putin, Cardi B, Google, TikTok, Jimmy Kimble, and Halle Bailey. We're going to close out the show, as we always do, with question of the day and a little bit of sports news. Let's get into it, y'all. Y'all know what time it is. Turn your TVs, your radio, or your devices up. I'm about to start this show. Let's go. It's Friday. Equatorial Guinea public official allegedly exposed in 400 leaked tapes featuring, listen to this, wives of family members and elected officials. All right, this is blazingly hot across Twitter and social media. A lot of mainstream outlets are not picking this up. But when I tell you this is the hottest story, it might be as hot as Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, all right? According to BBC News, Baltasar Engonga, I'm sure I'm not pronouncing his name right, I'm sorry, who is the Director General of the National Financial Investigation Agency in Equatorial Guinea, goes viral for allegedly explicit videos featuring him that have leaked online. Baltasar, who was previously under investigation for fraud, is now engulfed in a deeper scandal, causing huge conversation on social media regarding unprofessionalism and sex health concerns. While under investigation, over 400 videos were discovered on Baltasar's computer exposing his numerous sexual affairs featuring his own family members and the president of Equatorial Guinea's wife. Yes, you heard that correctly. The wife of the president of the country was on the videotapes with this guy in his office. Like I told you, wild. Many users on X, formerly known as Twitter, reacted to the leaked videos with concern about professionalism, considering some of the videos were filmed in his office. All right, so of course, I went on Twitter and I saw some of the videos. Obviously, I cannot play it on YouTube. They will yank this whole episode down. But when I tell you that this boy was wilding out in his office, taping everything, crazy. Like I told you, Twitter is blowing up. All right, this is some reactions to some people in the country of Equatorial Guinea. Like I said, the fact that the Equatorial Guinea officer was able to sleep with 6 out of 8 of the women he worked with in his office is the exact reason why. Okay, I'm not going to read the rest because it's derogatory towards some certain people. But I'm reading that to show you that there was 8 women in his office. He slept with 6 of the 8 women. Somebody else said, having seen the videos and the volunteer nature of the woman's involvement points towards mutual consent rather than coercion. This guy is innocent of those claims. Another person wrote, shift your family to Uganda. We'll come here and defend you. Somebody else said, okay, no, this is just another quote. Oh, this is what I wanted to get to. All right, listen, I have the list. Nobody else has this, all right? I have the list of all of the women that this guy slept with in his office, okay? Listen to this. List of alleged relationships of Baltasar Engonga. I'm sorry, I cannot pronounce his name right. All right, so this is alleged that he was with the wife of the director of presidential security. He was with the wife of the attorney general, the daughter of the director general of police. How are you sleep with the general of police's daughter? Are you crazy? The wife of his pastor's little brother, his godfather's wife, his serenity wife. I don't know what that means. His bodyguard's wife. Yo, the guy who's supposed to be guarding your life, you're sleeping with his wife? Yo, that's crazy. 15 friends of his younger sister, his pastor's wife. I think we read that already, but anyways, the wife of several ministers, including Mr. Umbudu, his own little brother's wife, and his uncle's pregnant wife. Yo, you cannot make this up, man. Yo, his uncle's pregnant wife. This guy is diabolical on another level. And just to reiterate, this is all on video. So you could say alleged if you want to, but this is all on video and it's all on Twitter. Over 400 videos. Wild. When I tell you this guy is wilding out. Yeah, that's all I have for now. From what has been reported, it's under investigation, like I just said, with one of them that he was saying one of the articles was saying that he was courting some of the women, but if you watch the video, it doesn't seem that way at all. So anyways, this is under investigation. Like I said, mainstream media is not talking about this, but this is worldwide news. Super crazy. We'll see what comes of it, but what can come of it? Like, what do you do to somebody that is literally just having these relations with all of these women most of the times in his office, in his co-working office? Like, what are you going to do? Like, there's no law against that. I read one place that what they're suggesting to do now is put CCTV cameras in government officials' offices so that they could watch them. But I think that's going to bring up a whole other privacy act where you'll be watching in people's offices. So who knows what's going to go on, but big scandal. What can you do to this man? You cannot do anything. This is consensual, right? But anyways, for those of you who want to see, go over to Twitter, just type in this guy's name. I'll put the headline up on YouTube. I'm not going to try to spell it out for you. I had problems just pronouncing it, but if you all want to check it out, I'm sure some of you might have seen it. I just wanted to let you know what it is all about. Head over to Twitter if you want to see the videos. But wait till the end of the episode, of course. You got to watch the whole Channel Out episode, all right? I got more juicy details for you. All right, and our second lead story, DOJ set to drop federal cases against Trump before inauguration. The U.S. Department of Justice is reportedly planning to discontinue federal crimes against President-elect Donald Trump due to the department's policy that prohibits the prosecution of a sitting president. I don't think this should be any big news to anybody. I think maybe why people are talking about this so much is that a lot of people are disappointed that you can go out and break the law as a citizen, but then you become president and now it's just all wiped off. He committed these crimes when he was, or allegedly, because he hasn't been proven, but he allegedly committed these crimes while he was a citizen. So a lot of people are just unhappy. Of course, a lot of people have said the only reason why Donald Trump has ran again for a second term is to, get all of these cases thrown out. You know what I mean? They have said repeatedly he has said repeatedly that they only open these cases to go after him, to keep him away from office. But I've told you guys repeatedly, the United States Constitution does not ban you from running for office, being president, if you are a convicted criminal. It just has no weight. It doesn't matter. Like I told you on yesterday's show, you could actually be in jail and be the acting sitting president of the United States. So not really big. Like I said, a lot of people are upset at this, but that's just how the Constitution works. There is one case that they are still going after. New York Attorney General Letitia James warns that she is preparing to fight back following Trump's 2024 victory. She is one of the only people. We haven't heard from Fani Willis, by the way, in Georgia, and Georgia is a state crime, so we'll see. But the feds are going to drop their case. I mean, he is the president. He's everyone's boss. How could you go after your boss? That kind of doesn't make sense. But all right, I have a little video, but I'll read this to you first. Letitia James is making it clear that she is not backing down after Donald Trump's 2024 presidential win. During a press conference on Wednesday, November the 6th, the New York State Attorney General congratulated Donald Trump on his victory, but quickly issued a warning saying, "We are prepared to fight back once again." She emphasized that despite the potential cooperation with Trump's administration, she and her office would not compromise their values nor integrity. James, who won a civil fraud case against Trump in February that resulted in a $464 million judgment, made it clear her team is ready to protect New Yorkers from any attempt to roll back rights or attack the state.
We did not expect this result, but we are prepared to respond to this result because we've been here before and we are prepared to fight back once again.
This is a little bit different from a criminal trial. This is civil, so we'll see what happens. Of course, I'll keep you guys posted. All right, in our third lead story, can Trump run again in 2028? The rules on the next election are: the Second Amendment of the United States Constitution, introduced in 1951, prohibits presidents from running more than 2 total terms. However, Donald Trump suggested a third term isn't completely off limits. All right, a lot of people are talking about this early on. I mean, the man hasn't even been sworn in. He hasn't started his second term. But this was a lot of people's fear. And again, every time I talk about politics, I got to remind you guys, we're a purple podcast. I am not Republican. I am not Democrat. Love both sides. Like when the country works together. All right. But yeah, a lot of people are afraid that, Trump winning and him especially having the Senate, the House hasn't been called yet, if I'm not mistaken, but maybe having the House and the Senate, that he'll be able to, change a lot of the things in American politics and a lot of rights and constitutions. We wanted to throw this in here to get your feedback. Do you think that Donald Trump is going to try to change this in the Constitution? More importantly, the bigger question I have is that, is it wrong? Do you guys think that U.S. presidents should be able to run for more than 2 terms? At the end of the day, it is still an election. It's not like, hey, we're going to stay here forever. But we all know that that United States Constitution, they can run. There's a new election every 4 years. And what if somebody wants to run again? What if Barack Obama wants to run again? What if whoever who has been president, 2-term president, what if Bill Clinton wants to run again? I know Bill is too old right now, but I'm just saying, should that be allowed? Should the U.S. change the Constitution and have a president run as long as he gets elected? I put that to you guys. Comment below. Send me emails. TrentOutloud@cfqr600.com. All right, in our fourth lead story, Bernie Sanders accuses Democratic Party for abandoning working class people following Trump's election, calls the Harris-Walz campaign disastrous. All right, like I said, whoever you're a fan of, what side, Republican or Democrat, you gotta love when somebody or a politician especially keeps it real. Bernie Sanders is the first one to come out and talk that I have seen talk so harshly about the Harris-Walz campaign. And Bernie Sanders criticizes the Democratic Party in a lengthy statement following the results of the 2024 presidential campaign. Sanders, an independent senator from Vermont, says the party abandoned middle-class people and calls the campaign disastrous. He tweeted out and said, "It should come as no great surprise that the Democratic Party, who has abandoned working middle-class people, would find that working middle-class people have abandoned them. While the Democratic leadership defends the status quo, the American people are angry and want change, and they all are right." Love that he's keeping it real. I searched to find his exact quote about disastrous, and his exact quote is, will the big money interest and well-paid consultants who control the Democratic Party learn a real lesson from this disastrous campaign? I feel like that word disastrous is really huge for him to say. Of course, he's independent. He's not sitting in the Democratic Party or the Republican Party, so it's a little bit easier for him to come across this way. But he did support Kamala and Walz, and he does lean more towards the Democratic Party. He's not even close to the Republican Party, right? They are so far away from each other. So although he does run as independent, he is pretty much a Democrat. So love that he's coming out and saying it. I don't know if I agree saying that she ran a disastrous campaign. I think that may be going far. She had 107 days to run her campaign. I do feel like she did a lot of I like that she made a lot of mistakes, 100%. I think disastrous might be a little bit far, just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. Comment below or send me emails. Y'all agree with Bernie? Was it a disaster, or you think she just lost fair and square? All right, in our fifth lead story, Elon Musk's risky gamble on Trump pays off huge. Okay, I wanted to throw this in here because a lot of people are like, oh, why is Elon Musk backing Trump, whatever, blah, blah. And or there's some people on the Republican side saying, oh, yeah, he just likes Trump, they're boys. This was a huge payday for Elon Musk, and I'm happy that I found this article to prove to you guys, because I've been saying it, this has been a money thing with Elon Musk from the beginning. Let me throw some numbers at you guys, all right? Elon Musk's reputation and wealth derived from his willingness to take risky bets decades ago with SpaceX and Tesla. None seem riskier than his high-profile, big-dollar bet on Donald Trump to win the presidency. And like those earlier gambles, this one is likely to pay off by making him the most influential executive in the new administration and even richer. Listen to this. Already the world's wealthiest man, Elon Musk's net worth grew $21 billion to a total of $285 billion on Wednesday alone as Tesla's shares surged 15% following the news of Trump's victory. Guys, I need to highlight this, sorry. On Wednesday alone, Tesla stock raised 15% and Elon Musk, his net worth grew by $21 billion. Not 21 million with a B, billion, just off of Trump winning alone, all right? The stock closed at $288, the highest it's been over the year. SpaceX, his rocket company that's become essential for NASA and Defense Department's launches, is likely to become an even bigger beneficiary for federal contracts from Trump's government, which will further boost Elon Musk's wealth. The implications of his support go beyond any short-term financial gain from his Tesla shares. Trump has said he wants him to serve as a government efficiency advisor in his new administration, at a minimum suggesting there will be a much lighter touch on rules and regulations on big companies, particularly those that Donald Trump and Elon Musk favor. I'm telling you guys, these guys are not out here playing checkers, they're playing chess. Let me tell you, this is a all money thing. Trump and Elon Musk have beef with each other multiple times. All of a sudden now with this election, like, yo, we're homies, we're boys. It's all a money thing. They say that Elon Musk might be the first trillionaire. Imagine being worth $1 trillion. That is just crazy, man. Anyways, just wanted to throw this in here. Elon Musk and Donald Trump are not really best friends. They're not really boys. It's really a money thing. All right, this brings us to quick news. Ring my bell. Russian President Putin confirms his readiness to begin negotiations with U.S. President Donald Trump. All right, this is what a lot of people were alluding to during the presidential race. Putin and Trump are boys. They're going to be in cahoots with each other, et cetera, et cetera. On the other side, people are, the Republican side, it was like, it's good that they're friends. Trump could stop the war in Ukraine. Trump has said he could stop the war within 24 hours. Who knows if Putin will make him look that good? I don't know if he can get it done in 24 hours, but it is good that he has this relationship that he could stop that war. Now, again, on the other side, it's a lot of Americans don't want him to have a relationship with a dictator like Putin, but depends on what side of how you look at it, right? But I think in the short term, it should be good for us. And Putin is not hiding it. And he's saying, listen, I'm ready to negotiate. Let's sit down and let's talk. All right, our second quick story. Cardi B is going through a hard time with Donald Trump fans since supporting Kamala Harris. They allegedly swarmed outside of the rapper's mansion on 3 or more occasions. Sources says that Cardi B allegedly dialed 911 and they moved away. Cardi B is also getting slayed on almost every single social media platform. Listen, Cardi B opens this can of worms to herself. Cardi B is always online, clapping back at people, yelling at people. So people are going to yell back at her. I don't agree with the going to her house and yelling. That's a little too far. But if she wants to go online and talk about Donald Trump, she wants to go to the Harrison Walls campaign and talk about Donald Trump, then this is what's going to happen. When you pick a side, you pick a side and live with it. Just want to reiterate, I don't agree with going to her house, but don't sit down here and cry to me that people are talking about you online because you want to go to conventions and say speeches. That's what comes with it. And allegedly, a lot of these entertainers and celebrities are paid to do these things. So you're crying to people who know the truth and know what's up. So people don't care. All right, our third quick story. Trump supporter charge in Capitol riot requests delay in case, citing potential pardon. All right, another thing that people were talking about as soon as Donald Trump gets in office, will he pardon all the January 6th rioters? Supporters for President-elect Donald Trump charged for their roles in the January 6th attack in the U.S. Capitol are looking to put their legal cases on hold, banking on the possibility of the president's pardon once he gets into the Oval Office. Among them is a 21-year-old Christopher Carnell of North Carolina, who was found guilty of federal and misdemeanor charges earlier this year due to his involvement in the Capitol breach. His legal team has formally requested that the judge delay his status hearing, citing Trump's pledge to offer clemency to non-violent January the 6th participants during his campaign. So that's another thing people are looking at. I'm literally excited to see Donald Trump in office January the 2nd. He said he was going to do a lot of things that were really unpopular on the left side. I can't wait to see him in office and see what he gets done, what he can do. It's easy when you're on the political trail to say, hey, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. Let's see if he's going to pardon all these people. I think he will, actually, but we shall see what Mr. Trump is going to do. Let me know below. You think he's going to offer clemency to all of these people that were in the riot? Because the reason why it's questionable is that even a lot of Republicans really denounced this riot in January the 6th, right? So for him to give clemency, pardon a lot of these people, he might be starting to piss off a lot of the people that he just got back on his side, right? The people in the Senate, the people in the House, his administration. Will he risk, getting them upset over the January 6th riots, or will he just continue to be who he is and do what he wants? I'm really interested to see. All right, fourth quick story. Google searches for move to Canada have skyrocketed in the U.S. since Trump's election win. Legault, who is the Prime Minister of Quebec, says that he has already reached capacity. All right, so that's spoken for Quebec. I don't know about Toronto and the rest of the provinces. Would you be open to American refugees moving to Quebec? The Quebec Prime Minister, François Legault, has raised his concern about this prospect of massive influx of migrants to the province following Donald Trump's win in the U.S. presidential election. And he says Quebec has already reached its capacity. Legault said Canada must act quickly to secure its borders against a potential wave of migration flee due to the opposition of Donald Trump's threat of mass deportation. I'm going to put up a little picture here beside me if you got whoever's seeing this on YouTube. This little blue line, that's the Google searches of move to Canada. And for those of you who can't see, the line is literally like it's literally like a 3-story building. Like that's how high the line goes up. That was not a good description, but anyways, the Google searches are crazy. There's also move to Ireland, move to New Zealand, move to Portugal, move to Mexico, and literally they're like a little blip. Move to Canada is like I told you, 3-story building, although it's not a good analogy. All right, keeping it Canadian, our fifth quick story. Canadian government orders TikTok closure over security concerns, but allows users to still use the app. The Canadian government has ordered TikTok to close its offices in Toronto and Vancouver due to national security concerns. Users can still access the app, but the decision was made following a national security review and advice from the intelligence agencies. The government emphasized that Canadians are not blocked from using TikTok, but they urge caution regarding data privacy and potential risk associated with the platform. Now, Canadian government, Justin Trudeau, if TikTok is so much of a concern that you do not want to allow them to have offices in their country, why are you allowing people in your country to still use the app? The US, I think it's January the 25th, will ban TikTok from being used. Why are you still allowing Canadians to do it? Obviously, there's something going on, right? So it's like, why would you continue to do that? That's what drives me nuts about the Canadian government. Go all the way. Stop going halfway. If it's so much of a concern that they shouldn't have offices here, why are you letting Canadians still use it? What's going on? Let us know what's up, bro. Like, it drives me nuts. All right, our sixth quick story. All those A-list celebrities couldn't save Harris, but Joe Rogan helped Trump. Endorsements from megastars like Beyoncé, Taylor Swift, Eminem, Bruce Springsteen, and many more weren't enough to make a difference for Kamala Harris' bid for the presidency. For all the Gen Z courtship and endorsement from celebrities and legions of young fans, votes tallied showed that Harris significantly lost ground amongst 18 to 29-year-olds compared to Biden. It seems Donald Trump's 3-hour chat with podcast king Joe Rogan on October 25th might have been far more effective than having Hollywood stars on stage, particularly when trying to get voters in critical Rust Belt blue wall states who might not necessarily associate Hollywood values with their own. Of course, I had to throw this in because I am a podcaster, a YouTuber, so shout out to Joe Rogan. But it begs the question, how effective is Hollywood, traditional media, CNN, CNBC, even Fox News and all of that, when I have been saying for years now, podcasters, YouTubers, this independent media is the new form of media. It's the new way to get to people. 20, 30 years ago, sure, like Michael Jackson's of the world and the big celebrities where, these famous movie stars, they were like, oh my gosh, the end all to be all. It's not like that anymore. I'm not saying that Beyoncé and Bruce Springsteen and all of these people don't hold weight, but having Megan Thee Stallion, show up at your campaign rally, and I love Megan, by the way, y'all know me, but that's not as effective as going on a Joe Rogan podcast. That is where a lot of these younger generation and even middle generation get their news, get their information, because podcasts are a way to sit down and be real with somebody. So having a celebrity, having Beyonce say a 5-minute speech is not as effective as you coming on a podcast, one-on-one, and just sitting down and having a conversation. I had a great one-on-one conversation with DeMar DeRozan. Everybody that watches that video was like, wow, like that was such a good conversation. I'd never seen DeMar DeRozan in that way before. DeMar DeRozan is a NBA player, for those who don't know, okay? Six-time all-scoring NBA player, okay? But yeah, we were able to have a great conversation. We're talking about mental health, talking about him growing up in LA, talking about a bunch of stuff. And a podcast is where you could be one-on-one and have that relationship. So I hope that the Democratic Party and everybody else takes note that, podcasters and YouTubes are the future, baby. All right, our seventh quick story. A massive anti-Trump protest is underway and people are gathered after President Trump's victory. I'll put up a little video on, for those of you watching on YouTube or Spotify, will be able to see it. There's an anti-Trump protest, which is ridiculous. If you want to protest at the ballot box. It was a free and fair election. Having a protest doesn't make sense. You want to get online and say whatever, blah, blah, but trying to have a protest, he is going to be the president. You protest for when things aren't, when your voice is not being heard, right? If you want somebody to be arrested, if there's a law that you want changed or whatever. Donald Trump is the president-elect, January the 20th. He's going to be the president. That's it. Get into office, mobilize, do something in 4 years from now or in the midterms in 2 years from now, vote. That is what our ancestors fought for the right to vote. Go out and vote. Trying to protest a presidency is senseless. Our eighth quick story. Over $1.28 trillion have been added to the stock market after the election. The Dow Jones soared and is up 3.57% and closed at a record high. This is the first time the blue chip index has gained more than 1,000 points in a single day since November 22nd. The S&P 500 and NASDAQ also reached new highs, with the S&P surging 2.5% and the tech-heavy index closed at 2.9% higher. The US dollar had its best day in 2 years, and the Treasury yield also rose. Markets were mostly juiced by the fact that the election was decided relatively quickly. The election and the widely held belief that Trump and his allies could contest the results in court had served as a cloud over the US economy and stock market in recent months. Markets in particular crave certainty, and a clear path forward will allow companies to adjust their business and hiring plans. So I think this is good. Well, not I think. This is good for everybody involved. Like I was saying yesterday, the election is over. Let's get back to, healing the world, healing the United States. Let's all be purple, like the Trend Out Loud podcast. Let's get back to, business, having lower interest rates, a higher stock market, getting inflation down, helping people at the grocery store, helping people at the gas pump. Like, I like to see this positivity come out of the biggest economy in the world. This is great news. Like I said, whether Trump was in, Harris is in, or whatever, let's just get back. Greatest economy in the world. Beautiful country. I'm happy to report this. Let's get back to business and stop fighting. All right, maybe I said the peace talk a little too early, because our ninth quick story, Jimmy Kimble fights back tears over Trump's re-election. Fans rally behind his emotional message. Like I said, I don't believe in this getting on platforms and crying and all of this stuff, but this is making a lot of news. And I just wanted to read to you what Jimmy Kimble said on his show. On Wednesday, November 6th, Jimmy took to the stage and voiced his concerns over the election. He said, "It was a terrible night for women, for children, for hundreds of thousands of immigrants, for healthcare. It was a horrible night for climate change, for science, for journalism, for justice, for free speech, for poor people, for middle class, for seniors. It was a horrible night for our allies in Ukraine, for NATO, for the truth, for democracy, for decency, and for anybody who voted against them. And guess what? It was even a bad night for anybody who voted for him. They just don't realize it yet." So, like I said, free speech, say whatever you want, but I just think some people are making too much of a big deal of this. Let him get into office. He was president before. In 2016 to 2020, the world didn't implode. We were fine. We'll make it through. This is the beauty of American politics. It's not a dictatorship. It's a democracy. You get to vote in. I heard once somebody describe American politics like moving a refrigerator, and I thought it was a beautiful analogy. When you move something so heavy, you can't just push it back. You got to rock it right to left, and that's U.S. democracy. You have a Democratic president, then you have a Republican president. You have a Democratic politician, a Republican politician. You have a U.S. House, a Republican House, and you keep going back and forth different ways, and then you get the fridge to where it is, and that's why it is the greatest economy in the world and one of the best countries in the world, right? So just think everybody needs to calm down a little bit and give Donald Trump a chance. All right, in our 10th quick story, Halle Bailey is finally walking back her attack she made on DDG. All right, I'm going to give you guys some context. I didn't get to talk about this yesterday because there was so much Donald Trump stuff going on. But Halle Bailey, DDG, Baby Halo, like the internet's couple. DDG brought Baby Halo onto Kai Cenai's stream. And then Halle Bailey tweeted out this. She said, I do not approve of my son Halo being on stream. I'm extremely upset. I'm his mother. I'm his protector. I'm saddened that I was not notified. Everybody dragged her online as to say, what? Because his father is not his protector. His father can't make a decision that he brought his baby on Kai Cenai's stream. All right, so that is the context to bring everybody up to speed. He brought his baby on stream, okay? She was mad. Today, what probably a lot of people haven't seen, because it's always the first step out that's the biggest. Haley has agreed with all of you guys, and she has backtracked, all right? Yesterday, I may have overreacted, and I shouldn't have brought it here. I know that Halo is always safe with his dad. I just don't like finding out with the rest of the world what my baby is doing. Thank you, Kai Cenai, for the gifts for baby Halo. So it's all over. It's all said and done. Y'all can stop dragging Haley, and we can put this behind us. All right, this is silly. I kind of understand where she's coming from a little bit, though. Like, she just turns on the internet and sees her baby on a stream. But at the end of the day, that's nothing to tweet about. It's nothing you got to drag your baby daddy about. Text him and just be like, hey, babe, just let me know what's going on. All right. So mothers are going to always be a little bit overprotective, but we got to trust our dads too, that they know how to make good decisions. And say whatever you want about DDG. Nobody can say that he's not a good dad. All right, this brings us to question of the day. All right, today's question of the day is, which emoji best describes your morning mood? All right, Jordan14 says, today is better than yesterday, and he put up the praying hands with suns. Real Western warrior put up the peace sign. Somebody else put up, yikes, all right, well, they put up the eggplant sign and the peach sign. For those of you who know, you know. Real Doll Ketcha said, yeah, okay, I can't say that. That was actually funny. Another person put the rolling eye emoji. Somebody else put the snoozing emoji. You want to just go back to sleep. This is hard. How could you find an emoji that best describes you other than sleeping? DD Memphis 10 put the emoji with the swearing. I guess she's grumpy in the morning. Another person put the praying hand sign. Another person put the sleepy one. Another person put the emoji with the throwing up face. Maybe she's pregnant. Who knows? A smiling face. I guess she's waking up happily. Heart, waking up loving. And another angry one. Here's a crying one. I don't think this question of the day was all that good. This was a hard question of the day. I don't know. You guys let me know below, everybody who's watching on YouTube. Let me know if there's a better emoji that best describes your mood when you wake up in the morning. I don't know. Also, try to email me your emojis. Tryoutloud at cfqr600.com. All right, this brings us to sports news. Olympic gold medalist Noah Lyles beats Speedy in a 50-meter race for $100,000. All right, for those of you who don't know, Speedy is a streamer, big, huge, athlete fan of soccer, whatever, blah, blah. And he has always said that he's the fastest man in the world, right? That's why his name is Ishowspeed. And he has always said that, yo, Noah Lyles, I could beat you. Finally, they got together and raced. And Noah Lyles is the fastest man in the world. So this was all just a joke. He was trolling. But I have a little video, and listen to Speedy after the race was over. Take a listen. That was a tie! I'm the fastest man alive! It wasn't a tie. It wasn't close to a tie. And Noah Lyles literally let up at the end and was acting a fool at the end, all right? The reason why it wasn't a 100-meter dash is because it wouldn't even be close. If it was 100-meter, that's why they won the 50. But anyway, shout out to Speedy, man. That's my guy. All right. Thank you so much for kicking it with me today for my Friday show. And of course, all week, numbers has been good. Downloads, views, subscribers. Thank you guys so much for always sticking by and showing up. Before I let you go, just want to remind you of all the ways to keep up with the podcast. For those of you who are watching this on YouTube or listening to this on podcast platforms, please try to check me out Monday through Friday on cfqr600.com or 600 AM if you're in the Montreal area. We do play the Trend Out Loud podcast Monday through Friday, and we also mix in 90s and 2000s hip hop and R&B. It's a great hour. It's a great way to get your entertainment and viral news while listening to your favorite hits from the 90s and 2000s. Vice versa, if you're used to watching or listening to the show rather on CFQR 600 and you can't always catch the show, we get it. You're busy. It's 11 to 12. You got Zoom meetings. You got things to do. We got you. There are 3 ways to stay up with the podcast. If you're on CFQR 600's website and you click listen live, there is also a tab that says listen again. The Trent Out Loud show will pop up after you click that link. There you could see all 370 episodes, actually 371 now with today's episode. So you can get all your podcasts there. There's obviously YouTube and any podcast platform. Just go to your desired site, type in Trent Out Loud. The show will pop up. Don't forget to hit the follow and subscribe button so that you can be notified every time we upload a new show. And of course, we upload daily. We are a daily podcast. We stay working for y'all. All right. Follow me on any social media platform. It's always the same handle, Trent Out Loud. Don't forget to follow the production company on Instagram, Exclusivity Media. And lastly, if you're listening on CFQR 600, do not touch that dial. Coming up next is my homeboy, Don Smooth, with the Midday Mix from 12 to 1. Trust me, Don is always dropping the hits. Y'all have a good weekend. It's Friday. I'm so excited. Weekend starts right now. I'll see y'all on Monday, man. Peace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Trent Out Loud. Peace.